Video number 2 for credit cards. As we get into this more, credit cards don't just have the finance charge, right? So if you don't pay everything on time, the finance charge is the amount that is added to that. Well, there are other fees also. There are late fees, there are over the limit fees, and everything else. So page 169 kind of gives you a rundown on how that all works. So I want you to hit pause and read page 169 to get an idea of what we're going to next. Great, hope you read that. Now I'd like you to turn to page 170 and just look at that gray box. Right, so the gray box on page 170, you probably see something like this, maybe not nicely drawn out, but on like a credit card statement. All right, they give you your APR. So we'll call this person Jennifer, and she's got an APR of 15.99%. They talk about her penalty, right, if she misses a payment. $35 if you pay late. If you pay by check and it's returned, you have to pay an extra $25. If you go over your limit, that's $39. All right, so all of these things tell you, we will charge you more for whatever. She's got a cashback rewards piece, a $500 limit, and her monthly payment is either $20 or 5% of her new balance, whichever is greater. And of course, we will be playing with all of this stuff. So let's go ahead down on page 170 and answer the first question. Okay, so Jennifer has a new credit card. Her credit limit's $500. She purchased $195 in school supplies at the beginning of the month. I'm jealous. I love school supplies. Anyway, what will Jennifer's cashback reward actually be for the school supplies? Okay, so if you remember, and I cut this off, but if you look at your gray box, it says purchases that are part of your first $1,500 earn 0.25%. So 0.25%. So we need to change that to a decimal. So 2 to the left means we are playing with the decimal of 0.0025. That much of her purchase is cash back. So her purchase was $195. So I'm going to multiply 0.0025 times the $195 that she spent. And because we're dealing with money, we will round to the nearest penny. Jennifer earned 49 cents in cash back. So when you think, oh, I'm going to put it on my credit card because I'm going to earn cash back, I hope you don't have an inflated sense of you're going to get a whole lot of money for it, because the amount is pretty small. But again, it does add up over time. So, you don't want to end up paying a finance charge, because your finance charge will totally wipe out any cash back you've earned. So if you're going to worry and play with your whole cashback reward system, make sure that you're paying your balance off at the end of every month, because then you're not paying a finance charge, but you are getting some cash back. So that will actually work in your favor, if that makes sense. All right, so feel free to read that paragraph at the bottom about cashback, and we are going to go on to page 171. All right, so Jennifer just got this credit card, right? Brand new. So she made purchases of $195. Now, when she gets her bill, she's not going to have a finance charge because you just got it. It's your first time. So she gets the bill for $195. There was no previous balance because it's brand new. So there is no finance charge. Right now, they're trying to see, are you going to pay it? If you pay all $195, there's no finance charge. We also have no other fees. She didn't go over her limit of $500. Right now, it's not late, so nothing like that. Our new balance, right, is just $195. Now, at this point, we have to decide what her minimum payment is going to be. So, right, she could pay either $20 or 5%, whichever is bigger. So, $20 is pretty, solid. There's $20. Well, what is 5% of 195, because that's the other option. So 5%, change it to a decimal of 0.05 times 195 is $9.75. Well, that's pretty easy to see that $20 is greater. So her minimum payment is $20. If she wants to pay the balance in full, it's $195. So her minimum payment is $20. So boom, there's 20. We now know that her new she now owes, right, $175. So that is what is going to be as a finance charge the next time. That is what they will apply the finance charge to. So looking at number 3, so dealing with Jennifer and her plane ticket to Cancun. So she is still in the first $1,500 of her credit card, and therefore her cash back is 0.25%. So again, we change it to a decimal. So 0.0025 of the 400 will be her cash back reward, which works out nicely to $1. So she spends $400 on a plane ticket. Her credit card company is going to give her $1 back. That's very exciting. And this leads us to month 2. So when her bill comes for month 2, now there are some numbers. We're going to need to change the table a little bit because it's not correct on page 171 for month 2. So our beginning balance in month 2, right? Jennifer had $195 on her first bill. She paid $20 because that was her minimum payment. So she's got a beginning balance of $175. Now, when you carry over a balance, that is what the finance charge is on. So remember, her finance charge, right now, her interest rate is 15.99%. So to find her finance charge, I take my APR, divide it by 12, and multiply it by my 175, because we need a monthly interest rate multiplied by the carryover balance. And we end up with a finance charge of $2.33. So Jennifer basically owes the credit card company $2.33 for borrowing the $175 for an extra month. Now, we know that Jennifer bought a plane ticket. Her extra purchase was $400. Well, what does that do? So she had a $175 balance. She purchased another $400. I hope this rings a bell. Remember, her credit limit was $500. So she is now over the limit, and her over the limit fee is $39. So because she went over the $500 limit, they charge her an extra money. So now if you add the $175, the $2.33, the $400, and the $39, we get a new balance of $616.33. So now our minimum payment, well, we're looking at $20 or 5% of what I owe. And the 5% of what I owe is $30.82. So Jennifer here is going to have to pay $30.82. And hopefully you see, if Jennifer only pays her minimum payment, if she only does that, she is still going to be over $500. So unless her credit limit went up, she's going to be charged a $39 fee again next month for being over the limit. Notice, if she's only paying, I'm going to round this $30 up to $31. If she's only paying $31 a month, her over the limit fee is $39. She is never going to pay this off because she's always going to be, paying less than her extra fee, not to mention her finance charge, right? So Jennifer is finding herself in a very slippery slope here. And we could continue and do this for multiple months and play with it and go from there. But however, we are going to go from to page 172, and I would like you to see answer questions 4 through 6 on page 172 at this time. So 4 through 6, page 172. All right, so cash back. Remember, she earned 49 cents for her school supplies, and she earned $1 from her plane ticket. So Jennifer earned a total of $1.49 in cash back. Now, number 5, her finance charges and other fees, they just occurred in month 2 because it was a brand new credit card. So she paid $2.33 in finance charge and $39 in a over the limit fee. So she paid a total of $41.33 in fees and finance charges, which is a nice pair of shoes. And in number 6, if Jennifer can't make the minimum payment, she's going to pay a $35 late payment fee. All right, and to end video number 2, I recommend reading the bottom page 172. There's just some other recap, and it's some good information. So there's video number 2.